Hi guys, I'm here to walk you through doing your Graphing Your Survey data project. Everything I'm going to share with you in this video is also in the Google Doc that you can see in front of me. That'll tell you step by step what you have to do, but I wanted to make a video for you as well just so you can kind of see the process. So the first thing you have to do, part one, make your Google Sheet. So you're going to start with my template. And it looks like this. Actually, I have a couple things filled in here. Let me get rid of it. Okay, it looks like this. And then you're going to type your information. Anything that's words will go into the word spots and numbers will go into the number spots. So my title of my graph, if I wanted to do favorite color, I can type it here. Then I'm typing my choices, and then I'm going to enter in whatever the numbers are that go along with this. You're going to put your question, your number surveyed, all of that stuff is going to be there as well. I don't want to waste time having you watch me type, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a different one that already has some information in it. Okay, so yours will look like this once you type in your information, and then you're going to need to make your graphs. So to do your graphs, you are going to have to highlight the information that you want to include in it. So for this one, it would be from A1 to B5. Anything else, it's going to mess up if you highlighted, say, all of this information. These extra boxes, the number, question surveyed, that stuff shouldn't be in your graph, just this part. So now I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to insert a chart. It will automatically give you a chart that they think is the one that you want. So for this one, it is the one I want. It's a circle graph. To know which one you want, if you read the Google Doc, it gives you exactly what you need. And then there are also examples that you can use to compare yours against mine. So coming back here, I've already got my labels. I've got my title here. If I want to change things, I can go to Customize on the chart editor and mix things up. But really, this one already gave me everything I need. So I'm just going to X out of that editor. I'm going to click on this and drag it over so that when I go in and I grade yours, I should be able to easily see all your information here as well as your graph next to it. For question 3 and question 4, those are also built into your Chromebook for graphing. So you'll enter in your information, which I did here. You'll highlight the information for your graph. And then again, you're going to go to Insert and Chart. All right, and then for this question number 3, they don't give you the right type of chart. They give you a stacked bar chart, and I would like you to make a double bar chart. So you have to click in there on the chart type, and you need to change it so that you have this one, which is called a column chart, but it's a double bar graph. They also don't automatically give you appropriate titles and labels like the circle graph. It's a little more complicated on this one. You actually have to type in the things that you want. So if you change your title, you can just click here and it'll switch to Customize for you. And then you can type your title. So mine was about favorite color. So I'm just going to write favorite color. And then I need to put labels on my X and Y axis as well. So once I do that, I need to make sure that I go back and I edit my chart. Okay, so, oops. I lost it here. I think it's in the 3 buttons. Yeah, there it is. So if you X out like I did accidentally, then you can just click in and edit chart that way. So to customize, I need to put axis titles on. So here I'm going to change it to horizontal. My horizontal label is going to be favorite color. And then my vertical axis title is going to be number of students. Okay, so now this one's all set how I want it to be. I'm going to click on it and drag it over to the side. Appropriate label, appropriate label, appropriate title. Now I'm going to go to question 4. I'm going to do the same thing. Once I type in my information, I'm going to highlight what I want in my graph. I'm going to go to Insert Chart. Okay, so again on this one, they didn't automatically give me a chart that I wanted. I want a line graph for this one. So I'm going to make sure that I change from my chart type from a pie chart to a line chart. So now that's already looking a little bit better, but My title isn't very good. Minutes per day doesn't really mean anything. So my question was, how many minutes a day do I listen to music? Okay, so I'm just going to say my title is going to be minutes time spent listening to music. Okay, so because I highlighted the things, everything I needed in there, my minutes and day label did automatically go in. If you don't highlight it, they won't automatically go in for you. My title's good, so I'm going to go ahead and click out of the chart editor. I'm going to take this and I'm going to drag it over. Okay, so 1, 3, and 4 are all very similar, but not exactly the same. Then I need to go to 2. 2 is a little different, and that's because Google does not automatically do a box and whisker plot, which is what I want for this one. So this one you'll have to go to a separate website to do, but you're going to get your information started in your Google Sheet first. So here I entered in my list of numbers, the 20 people I talked to. I need to make it least to greatest to do my box and whisker. So I'm going to click here on the arrow next to the A. I'm going to sort the sheet A to Z. That's going to help me get my numbers for my box and whisker. So the information goes on this next page, because if it's on the same page as your numbers, it sorts your numbers weird. So my question was here, how many minutes did you read today? That was my survey question. I talked to 20 people. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the information that I need for my box and whisker. So min and max, I need to look at my greatest and smallest numbers. So 2 and 27. Looks like those are the ones that I need. Okay, median is the one in the middle. You can cross out back and forth. Some people like to actually handwrite it out so they can cross it out. You're certainly welcome to. I prefer to count to find the middle. So 20 numbers, that means the middle is going to be in between numbers 10 and 11. So 5 and 5, for me, that works out. It's 5. If you have two different numbers, then you'll add them together and divide by 2 to find your median. So my median on this one is 5. And now I'm going to look at my upper and lower quartile. So for my lower quartile, I'm looking in between the numbers 1 to 10. Halfway between 1 and 10 is 5. And really it's between 5 and 6 here. So again, it looks like I lucked out. I have the same number here, 4 and 4. If you don't have the same number, you'll have to add together, divide by 2. So my first quartile is 4. Now I'm going to go back. So my bottom half was from 10 to 20. Halfway in between there would be between 15 and 16. So let's see, 15 and 16. Okay, this time I wasn't so lucky. I don't have the same number. I have 8 and 9. So I can add 8 plus 9 together. That gives me 17. And divide by 2 gives me 8.5. That's halfway in between 8 and 9. So my third quartile, I'm going to do 8.5. Now I have the information for my box and whisker plot. So you'll go back to the sheet. You'll look at the information for question 2. You'll click on the link right here. I already have it pulled up, but it'll look like this. So you need to put your information, so whatever you want your title to be. So I'm going to write minutes spent reading. Capitals on my titles here. Okay, so now I'm going to enter in my information from my sheet. So I had 2 as my minimum. Quartile 1 was 4. Median was 5. Quartile 3 was 8.5. Max was 27. Then the limits tell you, that lets you decide what you want on your number line. So whatever you want to be the smallest, what you want to be the largest, and how much you want in between. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to do 1 and 30, and I'm going to have it go up by 5s. And then the axis title, it can be the same as your regular title if you want. Minutes spent reading. Okay. All right, and I don't need to do anything with this bottom part. So I'm going to press draw here. I'm going to get my picture, copy to clipboard. And then this picture will not copy back into your sheet. It just doesn't let you do that. So you're going to want to make sure you put it in your Google Slides along with your other graphs. So I've already put my number 1 in here. I'm going to click to 2. I'm going to go ahead and paste my information. Let's see, is it pasting the wrong thing? Yep, it sure is. Okay. Let's do it that way. Okay, worst comes to worst, if it doesn't let you copy and paste, then you can always do a screenshot and enter it in that way. Okay, question 2 was, how many minutes did you spend reading? Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for 3 and 4. I'll type in my question 3. I don't remember what my question 3 was. Let's see, what was your favorite color? And I am going to copy and paste this chart. Whoa. Is your favorite color? And then I'm going to paste here. Always a good idea to link to spreadsheet, just in case if you're making slides with, say, a group, somebody else wants to change something on your chart, then they can do that without having to reinsert a whole chart. So it's linked there. And then you'll do the same thing for question 4 as well. So you'll go through, you'll finish your Google sheet. You'll finish your Google Slides. And then step 3 is to go back to that Google Doc. Again, you're going to want to double check your graphs against mine. Make sure you have everything you're supposed to have. Part 2 is a Google slide, which I just showed you. And then part 3 are the reflection questions. So you're going to need to make sure that you answer all of these questions. When you get to question 3, where it's what is the results of your survey, you need to make sure you mention all of the 3 questions that you asked to other people. So for the first question, I found out, I don't know, what did I find out? Let me see. I found out that pop was the most common and rap was the least common. For my second question, I found out that really only one person read about a half an hour today and everybody else spent a lot less time. Things like that. So you need to actually give me a sentence about each of the ones that you did for your survey. And then once you've done that, then you'll say, did any of the answers surprise you? I might say, yes, I'd expect people to read more than 2 minutes on a day. So you need to make sure you do all of that. And then again, that I have one more question there at the bottom. Here's our rubric. It's worth 15 points. You're going to go through, make sure that you have your amount of people. Now this says 30. I've asked you to do 20. So when I actually send this to you, I'll have that changed. But you should have an equal number of boys and girls surveyed for that third question. That's going to be worth 5 points. Your graphs need to have an appropriate title and labels, and that you've included what you needed to include there. And then for our reflection questions, that's in the packet. They need to be answered correctly and with much detail. So that's all you need to know for this project. Good luck, and let me know if you need help.